the engineering. I have a professional engineer in there.
So the name of the show is The Conversation?
Yes.
That's good. I like that title, The Conversation.
Should we be looking at the camera when we're not talking, or should we be looking
No,
at
no.
the-
You look at when you're not talking. We look at each other.
Look at each
Oh,
other.
yeah.
Okay, have a good show. Live
Thank you.
30 seconds.
Thank
Have a
you.
good show.
Thank you.
My mic. How's my mic?
Let's stay together.
Your
mic,
mic.
you're good.
That's okay. You sure?
But when I'm talking, I look at the camera over there, right?
Oh, you look at me. If you want to make statements, I want you to know
Right.
I'm the first guy to throw the ball. You tell them.
All right.
Otherwise,
And then you'll see your face.
And I could look at him too
All right,
if I
fine.
want
yeah,
to.
it's a conversation. Yeah.
Welcome to The Conversation. Shannon Taylor, your host, here with my lifetime buddy, who's all of 12, Morris Resner, the oldest living, is it softball or hardball?
Come on.
Baseball
I
player.
got Morris, I got Mo, I got Mike, I got a lot of names.
A comedian, a raconteur. He just performed at the comic strip again, thanks to Gladys, a lovely lady, 4'9", shorter than me. We hit it off right away. And with him, his co-author and dear friend, George Gregor. Two first names, always I'm amazed. George Gregor. But it's a classy team here because they have, show your book. Show your book. You have a book that just has not only been written, but it's immediately in the Hall of Fame. You tell, and also a DVD about the last game at the Giant Stadium of the Giants. So tell about both, George.
Yes, well, thank you, Shannon.
Hold it up more. Hold it up more.
Right. Well, okay.
The Chicago Cubs and Mo.
Yeah, this is...
That's you.
That's me.
This is Mo Resner, sometimes known as Morris, and the stage name Mike. Three men in one, 180-year-old man. Anyway, the Chicago Cubs and Mo is actually my third book. Each on baseball, each written in an epic poem style. The first one was called, it's still out, A Ride on the Mendoza Line. Some baseball fans will know what Mendoza Line connotes. The second one is dedicated to the New York Mets. It's called Those Amazing Mets, from worst to verse. And the third book, I decided to choose the Chicago Cubs because of their rich history as the oldest continuous franchise in American baseball. I knew Mo through the world of finance, and I was surprised to learn his other dimensions to his life, including not just in finance, but in entertainment, and also as a very avid Chicago Cubs fan with an interesting personal history, because he actually grew up in New York, as I did, and he was not a Yankee, Dodger, or Giant fan. He was a Chicago Cub fan. How he became a Cub fan, it would be the topic for another book.
Which means that all the other baseball teams are worthless. This is the only team in history that we're talking about tonight.
When I was a kid, one guy talked me into it. And there were Dodger fans, Yankees, and Giants, and they considered me an enemy. So we were in the Second World War, we were fighting the Japanese and the Nazis. Everybody was against them, but they called me a local traitor
Because you picked Chicago.
because I picked Chicago Cubs,
And why Chicago?
because somebody talked me into it. So they said, why
That
don't you...
means you listen the rest of your life?
I don't know. So what happened...
Mic on. Your mic, you have to put your mic on
How do I turn it on?
behind your chair.
What happened?
No, keep talking.
Okay.
Keep
So-
talking.
So they told me when I was a kid, if you're going to be a Chicago Cubs fan, go back to Chicago. I said, I never lived in Chicago. When they said, go there anyway, I said, I don't know where it is. I mean, I was 12, 13 years old. But I became a Chicago Cub fan. And I suffered for 71 years.
Well, when I learned of Mo's background, when he learned that I was writing a book on the Cubs, he offered to write the introduction. As I got to know Mo more,
Mo, you got two mics. It's your partner stole your mic.
Okay, that's good. I got it now.
Funniest part of the show is looking for the mic.
When I learned how interesting Mo's fandom for the Cubs was.
Oh, I want to point out, you better be careful of your partner here, because he took your mic away. They gave you the mic, and he took it away and hid it. So I keep my eyes on
Let
it.
me do the jokes. Go ahead, what were you saying?
That's the worst that can happen. Anyway, Moe's introduction turned into basically Moe's autobiography. So this is actually 2 books in one, because the first 140 pages is actually his life story, from birth in the Bronx all the way through the World Championship of 2016. And I was delighted, even though I myself was not a Cub fan, to see Moe be gratified after a long, long wait. And that wait goes back to the World Series of 1945, which he, as a diarist, recorded off radio broadcast, and his notes from the 1945 playoffs are in the book.
And he said, while you're doing your autobiography, include everything. So I included my personal life, included my show business, being in the United States Marines, knowing Ginger Rogers, knowing Jackie Mason.
But
my
not just knowing Jackie, oldest friend of Jackie.
Oldest friend.
And Jill Rosenfeld is manager and wife, and as far as I know, you're the only guy. I never saw you argue with them my entire experience.
No, because I didn't argue because 2 reasons. One, I'm not the type to argue, and 2, I was afraid.
But you are the most nice, smiling, happy person, and I know there were a lot of tragedies in your life as in others, and you have the strength, maybe it comes from baseball, I don't know, but you have the strength to match up to every life experience. You deserve every possible award, and meeting this worthy gentleman over here, who I know with as good a writer as you are, as good a photographer as you are, as good an editor as you are, there's no way on this earth that you could have produced this book without him.
That's right. That's right.
Although Moe's son gets credit for the some of the art, especially the cover art.
Which, Eddie?
Yeah.
Ed-
Oh,
Ed.
Eddie. Say hi.
I don't take credit for this, and I can't take credit
Cover's
for the
terrific.
good-looking guy on the cover.
Hasn't aged. I wanna read out.
By the way, we got 101 photographs, which is more than I think any book ever printed.
And some of them are mine.
You know what I mean?
Some of them are mine.
Notice how he gets credit for.
Oh, I'm gonna get credit. Right, I'm gonna get here on. Looking forward to the 2017 season. Yeah, on the bottom over here is the manager,
General manager.
General manager.
general manager.
He's the third in command, and he said, if you want to throw out the first ball, do it. And then I said, I'm going to do it differently than anybody else. I'm running from the bullpen.
You're running?
I'm running 200 feet.
That's a little much, Ma. Don't you think you should just stand?
No, because I run all the time. I'm active.
Yeah, but under the excitement, under the pressure of the weather in Chicago, who knows, a terrorist attack, God forbid, or
I'm not interested in that.
You stare at somebody has a loud voice, you could trip.
Makes no difference. First of all, they said there were going to be 45,000 people there. It's not true. There'll only be about 42,000 people seeing me throw out the first
And
ball.
3,000 trying to trip you on the way.
Yeah.
Who are not fans of the Cubs. So take my advice.
Yes, Wrigley Field is 99% Cub
You
fan.
know I'm a cautious person. You take risks, I'm a cautious person. Don't run.
Please, I'm not interested in your physical problems. All I know is that I ran, I am running, and I will run, and that's it.
He's got 2 physical challenges. Number 1 is surviving the dash from the bullpen to the mound, and number 2 is to throw the ball
Okay,
60
running 200 feet is nothing. He's right, and throwing the ball 60 feet 6 inches won't be a problem, and they're not coming in fast, but it'll be on a nice arc, and I will reach the plate.
I remember, no matter the weather, no matter the schedule, whatever we were doing with theaters or productions, Jackie's 9 shows, or Larry Gelbart, or Cy Coleman, or the Friars, whatever it was, baseball was first. And if you had a commitment, you were there. You're the most punctual person on earth. You're the most time-conscious person on earth.
Thank you.
And you're the most physical fit. And I want to point out, speaking of physical fit, here is Morris with the celebrities Jackie Mason, of course, Tony Randall,
Earl,
Jose Ferrer, and Kirk Douglas. I can claim credit for Tony Randall and Jose Ferrer's photos, and Robert Crichton he knew from Jackie's.
Right, now I'm seeing Robert tomorrow. I'm going to be together tomorrow.
From Jackie's show, the musical,
Cagney.
and then he now portrays Cagney.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to go to that show together, and as usual, between the two of us, and we only work out on
He's there for a year and a half, and he's quitting, and he's going to have a big part in a Walt Disney play that I forgot the name.
Show, I don't remember.
I forgot the name, but he's the star. He's got a big Broadway show coming up.
Another show.
Oh, to another show?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
That's right.
he's done a lot of shows. He
Yeah.
did Beauty and the Beast. It's not the first time with Walt Disney. And what are you meeting him tomorrow for?
Just having a quick...
Say hello.
Yeah.
Say hello. And here, another one of my photos with Eric Shawn, Fox News. And by the way, he sends regards to you every time we talk.
Oh, because I can't get into... I don't know.
No one works harder at Fox than Eric Shawn and Jackie Mason on the bottom. And everybody has left Fox so far. Except there you are with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. That's purely your photograph. I cannot take any credit for that. And you're also here with Jerry Seinfeld when you got backstage and I didn't. And here you are with Skitch Henderson. And this is
That's a great story.
That's a great. I want you to tell it.
Well, I met through Shannon and Jackie. I met Skitch Henderson. He ran the Pops Orchestra at Carnegie Hall. And one thing led to another. And he said, everybody talks about getting to Carnegie Hall. You got to practice the same old jokes. He says, I'm going to put you in the orchestra without rehearsal, without anything. He gave me the triangle.
I gave you the triangle.
All right, you gave
I
it to
said,
me.
but you asked me.
All right, wait a minute.
You asked me what instrument.
Let me tell
I
the
said
story.
triangle.
So they gave
Where
me
did
the
you know from a
So
triangle?
they gave me the triangle, and Skitch said, would give me the instruction when to bang it, and it's 30.
I gave you the instruction.
Wait a minute.
He's not going to instruct you on the triangle. I was right next to you on the bass drum.
I got to get the story, and somehow I'll get
Go
the
ahead.
story before the half hour is up. So he says, don't worry about anything. That's Skitch Henderson talking, not you.
I would never
And he
say
knows,
that.
and he knows, and I knew when to bang that triangle because it became solo. The orchestra stopped playing. Morris Resnick, Mo, Mike, whatever you want to call me, banged the triangle. And I did very well. And he said, anytime you want to come back, you can come back. But I didn't.
But you did in the band I was in New Jersey, in the Fireman's Band that won first place. So, you were back on triangle there.
I forgot all about it.
And you were there 3 times.
I mean, I was a musician 3 times.
And then you forgot another thing. I played in the Goldman Band at the band shell, and where they have the circus that's not there anymore, the Big Apple, across from the Met. And I invited you there too.
I was there?
And you were there too.
How do you like that? I became a big musician.
And you graduated from triangle to maracas.
Really?
Yes.
I'm too talented for this show. I got to get out of here. I didn't realize all of these things. My
I
God.
have to point out that with this book, Mo got into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown for the second time.
What was it? The first time was the DVD.
Well, the first time, the story is that when the New York Giants played their last game at the Polo Grounds on September 29th, 1957, Mo had the presence of mind, and only Mo, to bring his movie camera. It was a silent, I guess it was 8 millimeter.
And they let me on the field.
Got on the field,
I
and
just
he videotaped the.
ceremonies which I didn't think existed. The last day ever for the New York Giants. And 50 years later, when I edited the thing, the Hall of Fame invited me out there and they said, you're in. And this became significant within 3 weeks. This thing was only published 3-4 weeks ago.
It's a wonderful book. I read it. It's so humorous, and you write so well. But the most important thing that you get from this book is how active a life you've always led, with a large family, with all the various facets of that life in all different fields, and as a factor, as a businessman, as a proprietor, as a comedian, as a writer,
And as a young man, Mo has not aged. I'll give you a couple of examples. Number one, he's still athletically sound. Last month, when the Pelham Mets had their first warm-up practice for the coming season, I have a videotape of Mo taking batting practice.